Welcome back to Steadfast Strength, the mom fitness podcast where we empower busy moms to live their fittest, healthiest lives. I'm Kelsey Wolf, and I'm here today with my dear friend, Emily. So I'm excited. Emily, say hi.
Hi, I'm Emily Check, and I'm super excited to do today's episode.
So last episode, we talked about redefining balance, what balance even means, and what needs to happen for balance to work for you. Today, we're going to build on that by focusing on the role of strength training in helping moms feel empowered, healthy, and capable. Emily, tell us a little bit about how you got into strength training.
Well, let's see. I always used to work out and go to the gym and do like the elliptical or treadmill or what I thought was like fitness or getting in shape. And I maybe like do a couple machines, but nothing crazy because I was super scared to look like a man, and then I got pregnant with Colton and I had gained a lot of weight and I was really miserable and I didn't really know what to do. My second pregnancy was a little better because I was a little healthier. And then I worked at the coffee shop and met Kelsey.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So we all have these like background stories to like what we thought was being fit, what we were doing, things that worked, things that didn't work. And so Emily has a really, I think, cool story to share in that. And like if you guys watch the video in the background or whatever, or like check out social media, creep on her a little bit, you would see that like her physique, you would see what that looks like. And I think that we'll get into that part later too, because strength training, like there's a lot to it. Mm-hmm. And you're mentioning already some of like the huge things that I feel like stop women from strength training, like not knowing what to do.
It's intimidating.
Yeah. Not wanting to look like a man.
Yeah.
Like all of these things that it's like, yeah. So I definitely want to talk about that. And I mentioned at the very beginning that this is my dear friend, Emily, but we haven't been friends forever. We haven't known each other forever. So let's talk a little bit about our story, like how we got to know each other. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelsey opened a coffee shop in town and I love coffee. So I wanted to work there. So we kind of got together on that and we would chat and stuff. And I knew she owned a gym and I remember someone that worked there and I said, how are the workouts? And she said, oh my gosh, every time that I even do the warm up, I feel like puking. And I was like, okay, won't go there. But then I kind of kept thinking about it. I was working out at home with I had some dumbbells but it only went up to like 45 pounds. And I thought, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just doing like cardio stuff. And I still wasn't changing. I mean, I was working really hard and I still wasn't seeing that great of results. And I was so focused on my weight. And that's like what I was going after was my weight dropping and stuff. Not really how I looked because I wasn't ever happy with that. So then I finally decided I was going to come. So I came one day and that was like the scariest thing I've done in a long time because it's intimidating. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who the people were or anything. And I walked in and I did it. And when I went home, I was like, that was actually really nice. It wasn't what I expected. I was expecting you to be on the stage with a microphone, like in music. And I mean, there is music, but it's different music. And it wasn't a big, everybody's doing the same thing kind of thing. And I felt like lifting weights like that, even though it was modified because I was new, I felt stronger, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep going. And then a couple months later, I got pregnant, and I stayed consistent my whole pregnancy, and Kelsey helped so much with that. And then after Carson was born, like I had postpartum depression with the first two, pretty bad with Colton, and I didn't hardly have any, a little bit, but it was nothing that I bounced back from my third C-section so much better than my first two, and usually it's supposed to be harder. And I've been consistent at the gym. Kelsey helped with my nutrition, which is huge. And I feel like a completely different person. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for...
Yeah, so 3 kids later, and I finally figured it out. But now I'm like in better shape than I was when I was like 17, 18. I can run faster, jump farther, lift heavier. And I'm 36.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I feel like, okay, so I have a few things I want to come back to, but like one of the things, because you just said it, I have to touch on it. I'm getting old. This is what it feels like to get old.
Yeah.
I feel like I hear that all the time.
All the time. And that's 100% not true. Like, I don't know who came up with that, but they were like just like kidding themselves. Because I am so much stronger and healthier, and I have more energy than I did like 10 years ago. And I still live on coffee because I like it. Don't need it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I just feel better, happier. And I'm not happy all the time. I'm a person.
Yeah.
But it's so much better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we were working at the coffee shop together. For those who don't know, when Emily's referencing like the gym, so I have a gym here in Arlington. It's mostly small group classes. Yeah, and there's a wide variety of small group classes too, right? So like you go, I don't know, to maybe what you were visualizing, like where someone's with a headset up leading the class. Like that's not what we do really at Eagle Athletic Club. It's coaching, workout, like
and we all work together.
Yeah.
We all worked even on my first day, everyone was super supportive and like encouraging, which was a lot too, because I was scared I was going to be like everyone has their groups, but everyone was so welcoming, and that helped a lot too.
Cool.
Because I didn't feel out of place.
Yeah, and everyone does what's appropriate for them. So
Yeah.
like just because it's group fitness doesn't mean that we're all doing the exact same thing. The coaches are there to
Guide.
guide, correct, suggest, all of those things. So talking about coaching, tell us your journey there. We were working at the coffee shop, you started training at the gym, and now you're
coaching
at the
and
gym.
I love it. It's such a good fit. Like I really didn't think that it was going to be something that I would do. But then Kelsey asked me about it, and I thought about it, and I thought, oh, maybe I can do it. And the first couple times I coached, it was kind of scary. But
Why?
Because it's like you're teaching people what to do, and you're like, what if I say it wrong, or what if I... But I've actually like gotten a lot more confident in what I'm doing, and I love it because I love to help people feel how I feel, because you like helped me, and it's such an amazing thing to do for people, and people to do for themselves.
For people to do for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited to dive more into what we're talking about today, because when you're passionate about something, like there's a lot to talk about with it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about strength. So strength training is important because it helps you build muscle, which supports your body in so many ways, especially as moms, like carrying kids around, carrying groceries around, like we coach a lot of athletes here at Eagle Athletic Club, and we're often talking about like building strength in a way that you can adapt to the needs of your sport. For contact sports, like you get hit and you don't get injured because you have a strong enough core to support, like that impact. So I feel that way about being a mom too. Like there are so many demands on us all the time.
There is.
But like being strong is important.
Yes. I mean, your kids like jump on you or ask you, and it's nice to be able to actually play with them physically. Like if they're practicing a sport, you can practice with them. You can keep up with them and participate in things that they like because you're strong enough to.
Yeah. A few examples of that I can think of are even when we are training athletes here, not just even kids, but like actual athletes. Like I feel like sometimes when I want them to go harder,
Yeah.
I jump
Join
in.
them.
Yeah.
Because you're like, if I'm 36 or 35
Yeah.
and I can do it, you better be doing it too.
Yeah,
Because for gosh sakes.
Like, let's go run these 20-meter sprints and let me show
Yeah.
you how fast I am.
Yes, let's race.
Which I'm not very fast, maybe. I don't know, but like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
race. Like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. So there's that. And then I feel like you're saying, the lifestyle stuff too, we can talk about it more. Strength training being one of the really important pillars of fitness, but movement. There's another pillar of fitness that we're not talking about today that's just like your aerobic base. And I feel like because I train in multiple modes of fitness, I can last all day with my kids. We can
Yep.
go, we can walk miles at the zoo, we can go to the playground, we can ride bikes.
Yeah.
I don't need to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's a huge benefit of just being a fit mom.
Yeah.
When we talk about strength training, okay, hold on, back up. You talked about your journey and the scale and being concerned about your weight. Can you elaborate a little bit? Why did the scale matter to you?
I always thought that that's what mattered. Being thin or being a certain weight was always what I was aiming for. And when I started to get stronger, I didn't even check my weight. Because just feeling stronger and better was so much more important to me. And I just felt like if I even got on the scale, I would just, I don't know, I didn't think I'd be disappointed, but that didn't matter anymore. It wasn't about being a certain number. It was like feeling strong.
Yeah.
Which has been like all the confidence that I needed was just to be strong. And I had no idea. And I don't look like a man.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. So
check the video. She does not look like a man. Yeah, that's really good. So muscle is it's metabolically active tissue.
Yeah.
So when you train, like when you strength train, you burn more calories even when you're at rest, especially if you're building muscle. So that's one of the physical benefits of strength training that I feel like we have to address is that, like, if you do have a physique goal, or let's say like you do carry around more body fat than maybe is ideal for your health or is what you're hoping to carry for yourself, strength training is an effective way.
Yes. I like it's. You don't have to kill yourself on a treadmill for like hours and hours, and that's stressful. That is stressful.
Yeah, and like running, like a lot of us at the gym, we run, we cycle and things because we love it, and it trains another one of the pillars of fitness that we feel like is important. But I don't like people to get it twisted.
Yes. Yeah.
And think that they have to be running to lose fat, or that they have to be like lying on the ground, dying after a workout to think that it was effective, or to have their watch tell them that they burned a certain amount of calories while they were active, because it's just not representative of the whole picture of what's happening in your body, how you're burning calories, what your muscle is doing for you when you're not in the gym. Emily mentioned it too, while we're on like the physical benefits of strength training, like posture, core, pregnancy. Can you speak a little bit to the differences between your first couple pregnancies?
My core strength is back to where it should be, which is good, but my posture is, well, I still go like this, but we all do. But it's physically I look a lot different. I thought after having kids, especially my second one, I thought that looking a certain way was unattainable. And I thought that I would have to just, like, the amount of work that I thought it was going to take to get there, I was like, this is just how I'm going to look. Because I had kids, and there's no, that's just life. You have kids and then your body looks a certain way and that's how it's going to be. But that is totally not true. Yeah. It is not. I mean, and everybody's bodies are different, even people who strength train, but I was really shocked, and I never knew, because I don't feel like it's talked about enough. Strength training is so important for like your whole life, Even when you're older, it's so important.
Right. So strength training is like one of the indicators of longevity.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
So I feel like with Emily, it's easy to talk about postpartum stuff, like getting having healthy pregnancies, training after pregnancy, and coming back and looking so strong and fit and healthy. There's like the physical changes that have happened for Emily that are fun to talk about and easy.
Yeah.
But again, like every body is different.
Yep.
So for some people, it's going to look different. For some people, that's not their goal. It might be too stressful to worry about body weight, and like maybe they're already confident and happy. So like if fat loss isn't a goal, then we can't leave out the longevity factor of strength training, which like at maintaining muscle mass as you age, like lowers your risk of chronic illness, diabetes, heart disease, and it improves bone density.
Yep.
If we're doing it properly.
So important.
Right.
So important.
And I've seen an increase in that demographic here at the gym.
Yeah. Yes.
Too. So
yes. They're amazing.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
They amaze me.
Yeah. And we'll have to have some of them on the podcast sometime.
They're
too,
awesome.
Because I think there's a lot of things that that demographic of people who are like done raising kids and in different stages of life are seeing changes in their bodies that most people would say
like impossible.
Yep. Impossible. Not like
Yep.
So strength training, it all comes from that. So there's a physical side of strength training, all the benefits there. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Mental, emotional side of strength training.
It's so important. Let me think. Like I can always revert back to, because this is a mom podcast, like postpartum stuff. It's even now being a mom, like finding the time that I have, because I make sure I have an hour to myself to come here in the mornings. It's so important for my mental health because I come here and I work out and I feel strong and I'm ready for the day. And some people like to work out later in the day, which is, whatever people like, but it makes me a better mom and a better wife because I'm mentally ready for the day and I've accomplished something. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it's hard for me to see accomplishments because I don't bring home a paycheck. I don't see, I'm top sales or something. So I accomplished, like the other day, I deadlifted 200 for the first time and I was like, I accomplished something. Like I used to deadlift like nothing, and now like I can see like my progress, not just like physically, but like what I'm able to do even at home.
Cool.
And that's like huge for me. Mentally, it's a huge confidence builder because that's where I've struggled too, is with my confidence, especially as a mom and stuff. And then my kids see me getting stronger and they're starting to follow me. They're wanting to do things, and so I'm building little programs for them to do at home and stuff, and it's been so fun. So I'm really proud to set a good example now because they really do see what I do.
It's funny that you call yourself a stay-at-home mom.
I am though.
I know. I call myself a stay-at-home mom too, and I think that I am. Is there
a nicer name for it? I don't know.
Well, no, but I mean, like, my point in that is like you watch.
Watch one child.
Yeah, you watch another kid
more.
at your at your house. You're up coaching here in the mornings, and you do coaching for a hockey team. Like,
and then I'm a taxi driver in the evenings for my kids.
So again, probably another thing for another podcast.
Yeah.
But stay-at-home mom / part-time gym coach /
part-time daycare.
Yeah.
Part-time, I don't know.
You were working at the coffee shop for a while. Not the only hat that you wear, but you are busy and you still find the time to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, in finding the time is, and you don't even have to have like an hour. You don't even have to come to a gym.
Yeah.
You just start somewhere. Like even if you have no weights, there's body weight things you can do, and then you can slowly add dumbbells and do like curls and presses and keep building.
Yeah.
You don't have to, and it shouldn't be overwhelming.
Yeah. So when it comes to strength training, that's one of the foundations of it, progressive overload.
Yep.
You start somewhere and
Yep.
you build. And really you can build by adding weight, adding reps. You can add sets and fewer reps. I mean, like, there's all kinds of different combinations, right? Depending on what you're going for. But like Emily's saying, to the person who's not doing any kind of strength training at all, starting anywhere
It's good.
is good. Yeah, is good. I mean, even, you know, I know there are things on YouTube that are free that people could look up. I mean, we have online coaching. We have a physical building too. So there's access to resources to just start doing something. And then, like, you can't stay there, right?
Right. You got to keep going, though.
Yeah. So, like, our bodies, like, they adapt and they get stronger. And then we need to keep increasing the resistance to continue the benefits of the strength training. So, I don't know, one thing that I hear people saying a lot is that they strength train. What I see them doing is more of a cardio stimulus with some weights. What do you think about lifting heavy? Like how
I love it.
Okay.
But we can go back to like how people think that women look, but there's certain reasons why some women look certain ways.
Yes.
And that's not just lifting heavier all the time is not going to get you there.
Right.
Like extreme.
Yes. I mean, honestly, like when people say like, I don't really want to get bulky or I'm afraid of getting bulky, it's almost offensive. Like,
yeah, it is.
Like, what are you saying? Like, do you feel like I look like a man?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I look like a man.
I know. That's how I feel.
And like, also like, I mean, no offense, there is so much grace to anyone who's said that before, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you said that, like, it's a fear.
I've said it.
It's
though,
a fear,
because it is.
yeah.
You see like some women and you're like, oh my gosh, like that's what'll happen if I keep lifting, but it's not.
Right. And then you start lifting and you're like, oh my gosh, if I ever wanted to look like that, I'd have to
lift a lot.
I mean, yeah, and that's coming from two people who lift a lot. Like, we lift frequently, we eat to fuel our performance. Like,
it's a lot.
We're not trying to lose weight, we're trying to get stronger, and it doesn't happen easily.
No. It's not like one day you just work out a lot and you look like that. It's like a lot of weight and a big commitment.
Yeah, I don't know.
That I don't have time for, and I'm happy with where I am.
Yeah. And we're lifting heavy weights and seeing the progress that we want to see without hitting 3. I just feel like anyone who's afraid of that doesn't quite understand the commitment that it would take to get that bulky. And it wouldn't just come from lifting weights either. It would come from a lot of calories. You have to eat a lot of calories too. Like,
that is one thing too, though. I'm more hungry.
Yeah.
But if you eat the correct food, then it.
So, I want to be careful because, again, we can go so many different directions.
Oh, I know. We'll stay on track today.
But we can go a little bit there because, you know, people, like you have to eat appropriately for how you're training.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're strength training, like you're burnt, it can be hard for people because they don't feel like they're doing as much.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on the workout. I would argue that if you're lifting right, like you'll know that you're doing a lot. But it might take you a while to get into that mindset. And then you're hungrier too. So it can be like a mind game. Like, I feel hungry all the time. I'm not running as much. I don't feel like I'm sweating as much. I don't know. I feel like you just have to be patient with that process because like it's breaking out of how we've been trained to think. Okay, so bulking up isn't just gonna happen. But also, you won't get strong lifting the same 12-pound dumbbell forever.
Yeah, like many of times I've picked a weight and Kelsey's like, go put that back. And I'm like, gosh darn it.
Why do you pick that weight up though? Like,
Yeah.
in your head, what are you thinking?
Because I think that my arms are tired or my legs are tired, so this is what I'm gonna do today. And then Kelsey knows better than I do. And Val does it too.
Yeah.
And now I do it.
Yeah.
Because I know people have it in them.
Yeah. And that's the value of a coach too, right? Like,
because if I didn't have a coach, I would not have pushed myself as far as I am right now. Because one, I wouldn't know what I was doing. And that's intimidating. Because these workouts are, like, you have the workouts so that, like, the 6 weeks we change stuff.
Yeah.
But it all has a purpose. It's not just stuff thrown together.
Yeah.
It's to help everybody's bodies and stuff. Because in the summer we run more.
Yeah. Yeah, and we want to progressively overload into each season too, right?
Yep.
And like, I mean, again, we're telling you on one hand, like, just start somewhere.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, there is a science to it.
There is a science to it. But doing something is better than nothing.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, like, if you're at ground zero and you start doing something, it's not like you're going to do too many body weight squats to throw off your hamstring balance, you know, like, yeah. But when we start getting into like the heavier weights and stuff, like for upper body, we want to make sure that we're pushing and we're pulling. You know, for lower body, we want to make sure that we're squatting and we're hinging. And we want to balance different types of lifts. Again, especially if we are trying to get stronger and we are building muscle in certain areas, those kinds of things matter. So back to the weight, I can't let go of like that training like heavy matters. I can't let go of that because I feel like a lot of women are scared to lift a heavier weight.
I was scared to lift a heavier weight.
Or they think that they are lifting heavy, or they call it strength training, but it's like, are we, like, so talk a little bit about that. Like, there are times where you feel like you're lifting heavy, but then you put some more weight on and you're able to squat it.
Yeah.
And then you put some more weight on and you're able to squat it. But like, where you thought you were lifting heavy. But then you find that there's like
more.
Yeah.
My body has more than I thought it did. And that's happened a lot. I've been lifting and then I myself I've been adding more myself, or someone will kindly tell me that I can do more.
Yeah.
And I do. And then I surprise myself and then I'm proud of myself. And it's like an amazing feeling to do something that you didn't think you could do like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you just easily do it. And I can look back on like my workouts, like from like last year, and I'm so much more far along than I thought I would be. And it's really neat to see that.
So yes, I feel like the longer you train, the more you kind of figure out what it's like to go there.
Yeah. Yes. And it took a while. And if I didn't have the community that we have here, I don't think that I would have made such progress. It is really important to have someone who supports you and pushes you, because I don't know that I definitely wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to have someone be like, you can put that back in a different way. Put that bag.
It's funny that when we first started talking today too, you were like, I just had some dumbbells at my house, but they only went up to 45.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure there are people listening who are like, it only went up to 45? Like,
I know.
Like 45 is like way heavier.
But I was like, with deadlifts and stuff, that's silly. But
yeah.
But for my arms, though, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you could still use that. But like, yeah. Have you, like, deadlifting 45 pounds?
That would be silly.
Yeah, you got a lot more in you now. Okay, so you have been kind of keeping track of what you used to lift, what you lift now. I think that for a lot of us who are in strength training, not even just strength training, but you know, we talked about like wanting to achieve things. Like a lot of us have the desire to achieve. Again, it might be a personality thing. Other people might not care. And it's like, hey, I get my workout in. Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, if seeing progress is important to you, strength training does give you like a lot of other ways to achieve things and measure progress that have nothing to do with the scale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I posted something on Instagram the other day, and it was a picture of myself, and it was like first thing in the morning, I weighed one weight, and then I had breakfast, did some other things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm gonna weigh myself again and just for fun. Like I wanted to do like a little experiment. I was 3 pounds heavier an hour later.
Yeah,
like I didn't put on 3 pounds of fat,
like,
but
for sure. Like I think like the scale is crazy, especially being women, and like when you go like have your like period and stuff, like you're have more water, and it's just not a good indicator of health at all.
At all.
Like it's almost like I don't even check anymore because I know mentally it's just not my thing anymore.
Yeah. So Emily, you're a busy mom, another busy mom. I feel like I'm a busy mom. I don't know. Some days I'm busy, sometimes I'm not.
I think all moms are busy though. I mean, honestly, I don't care if you have 1 kid or 5 or 6 or a lot.
True. Okay. So we're busy.
Yeah.
How do we make time for strength training with a busy schedule?
I feel like you don't have to have even an hour, but here there's a lot of variety in class times, and there's also open gym, so you can come earlier than 5:15. Some people do that and they intermingle still with everybody, so you can still see how everybody's doing, or you can come in anytime during the day, and that helps a lot, I think. I mean, and I feel like an hour, some people leave early too, because they have to get to work, which nobody's ever said anything about anybody leaving early or giving them a hard time. And
because I think a value is something's better than nothing.
Yes, and they're getting plenty in, and they're doing good still.
Yes, and I think as adults we recognize that like it takes work to make the time
it
to
does.
train,
It does.
And when you're a mom and you have kids waking up in the middle of the night, like something I like to do, and maybe this is too much, I don't know, but if it's important to me to train on a certain day, I kind of have my plan A, like my preferred plan, and my backup plan. So it's like, okay, tomorrow my plan is to get up at 5:15 a.m. Or I mean, probably 4:45 if I'm going to train. 5:15 a.m. But if things blow up in the middle of the night and I'm up every 2 hours because a kid, whatever, you know these kids. If I need to sleep, what's my plan? Like, how can I adjust? And sometimes it's coming to a different class. Sometimes it's easier when it's summer out for me. Because we can go to the park. I can move at the park. You know, I can have the kids drawing in the driveway, and I can hit a few sets of things here and there with dumbbells or whatever that I have around. So summer feels easier for sure. But sometimes I also adjust in that, like, okay, I was planning to strength train today, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen for whatever reason. So now I'm going to put on a show for my kids, and I'm going to do a body weight, like a 30-minute body weight movement, and my kids are going to watch a show for 30 minutes because I can't get to the gym. I can't get to the garage. They're being very needy. I'm going to do something instead of nothing. And then the next day, I will lift. Because I like the way I like to plan my weeks are like some days are more for lifting, some days are more for Peloton, running, things like that. Like I just feel like there has to be some ebb and flow.
There has to be. Though when you're a mom, you're gonna have interruptions. Even when you're trying to if I do try to do something at home, there's always interruptions, which is something that you have to plan for as a mom. But give yourself some grace. You know, as long as you're doing something. And, you're not always going to have the time. I don't always have the time. Sometimes I don't come to 5:15s because I'm tired. It was a rough night with the kids or something, or I'm not feeling well. There's plenty of other times, plenty of other things to do. I mean, and I usually find a way to get here, which is my husband helps out a lot too. So that helps immensely.
And I think that's fair.
Having a good support system at home is really helped a lot too, because he really knows how much this means to me to get here, and he's seen such a change in me that he's so happy that I do this for myself.
I know, like sometimes Andy's like, why don't you go to the gym?
Yeah, I know. Maybe you need to like go lift something or run somewhere.
Which, like, I feel like we're really blessed to have the community that we do
Yeah.
because
Yes.
we're all friends now.
Yeah.
And
Hey, can you watch my kids quick so I can go do something?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And like, if it is our husbands watching the kids and we happen to come up here and get to be with our friends, like,
it's really fun.
that's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, like, that's our
It's
therapy.
yes, it's been so good for me socially to get out a little bit. And I've made some really good friends here too. And the best part is everybody's so supportive of each other here. It's such a good community.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
Huh.
I really feel that way too. Okay, so we love strength training. So many benefits to it. We talked a little bit about like the need for it because we're moms and we have to be able to adapt, all the time. But then we're also humans who have goals and things that we love to do, things that we like to do, things that we want to do. Emily this year hopped on a market to market team.
With 2 weeks to train because Kelsey needed someone.
Yeah, so were you able to do it? How did it go?
I did it. I ran it. I was so proud of myself.
Okay, so for those who are listening who maybe don't know what market to market is, it's a relay race from Omaha to Lincoln. It's about 78 miles, and you get to form a team with people and you alternate running. Most of the legs are between like 3 and 5 miles. So you run 3 to 5 miles at a time. You do it 2 to 4 times depending on how big your team is. And yeah, like we were in a jam and I'm like, who do I know that can hop on our team and run? And I thought, Emily, she hasn't been running at all. She would be perfect.
Not. I had not been running except for like the workouts when we'd run like an 800 or something every now and then. And I was like, I haven't even ran like 2 miles. So one day I was running and I like got a mile and then I got a mile and a half and I trained for a little bit, but I never hit like 3 miles. And then I had like 3.7 and 2.5 and I was like, ooh. But I did it. I did it.
And she had more in the tank.
I did. I probably could have done harder. Next time.
But I just love the like.
It was really neat to do something that I didn't think I could do because I wasn't training for it, but I actually was because I was strength training and my body had the capability. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah. So that's this cross training effect, right? Like, if I have to choose anything, I'm always choosing strength.
Yeah.
Like the running, the cycling, like all that's really like great for me. But I feel like strength training is the biggest bang for my buck. So like on busy weeks, like my mileage might be low. I might not get other things in, but like if I can get my strength training in, my big lifts in, like that's what I'm prioritizing. Because really, like if you have other things that you want to be able to do, it prepares you for them. If you care about your physique, like it's the best bang for your buck in burning calories even while you're at rest. Like I feel like it's like the best thing you can do for yourself. It's like the best thing for longevity. So maybe you don't care about performance or physique or any of that at all, but you just want to live like a long, healthy life.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the
guess
best
what?
thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, strength train. Yeah, like I can't think of any reason not to, except like if you don't want to look like a man, which
you won't.
Unless
like you really, really,
I feel like I train really hard and I feel like I eat a lot.
And there's nope.
You have to be real dedicated to putting on muscle mass.
Yeah.
To put on muscle mass, which brings me to one other point that I haven't talked about yet. Building muscle and building strength are different. You like the size of your muscles don't always indicate how much you can lift.
Yeah.
So like when you're building strength, you're building something different than muscle mass. And some of the way that we train here is more designed to like look good. Like we want some muscle definition. So sometimes we do train for muscle mass. A lot of the time we're training for strength, like functional strength. And I have to say it real quick, tone. I feel like sometimes when people start at the gym and I ask them what their goal is, they say they want to look more toned. What does that mean when people say that? Do you know what that means?
Does it mean like they have abs and stuff?
I think it might mean that. Or like they want
Or
to
like
see their
they have, like-
muscles in their arms.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to lift too heavy of weights, but I want to be toned.
Yeah, but I don't even.
It just is like this mythic. That's like a mythical thing to me. Like I want to look toned
Yeah.
because to me it's like, well, you got to lift weights. And
Yeah.
you got to eat well then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like if you don't do those two things, like you're not gonna look toned. So there's that. And then I find that when people start training at the gym, like maybe their original goal was to lose fat or look toned. But a lot of times it starts morphing into some of what you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna deadlift 300 pounds this year,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. You start having these goals that you were like, that is silly. Because I thought I want to look fit and I want to look toned. And I still thought we would have to run a lot, which we do run
We
sometimes.
do. In the summer, we do run a lot.
But not terribly.
Yeah.
Only sometimes.
And really because I like to run, so.
Yeah. So everyone runs. Everyone
But-
sees it on the board and just,
Yeah. But, okay, if you're one of my online clients, well, you get like a lot of tailored information and workouts to like whatever you've said you want. But people in the gym get tailored stuff too. So there's like a lot of people
Yes.
who like don't run.
right, because there's
Because of-
modifications for everybody.
Yeah, because of restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modifications when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Postpartum modifications. That helped immensely too, because Kelsey knew what I could and couldn't do, which helped me because I was still able to be active but didn't overdo it and cause some kind of injury from having C-sections. And that was amazing, really, because that's something you can't really find anywhere, and it helped.
We have it in Arlington, so cool.
Yeah, it's really, I'm not saying only moms should come, but it is an amazing place to start.
Yeah.
Because there's so much like knowledge. Kelsey has so much knowledge, and it's
Well, now I have
awesome.
other coaches who have knowledge too,
Yes,
so. Yeah.
yes.
So as we wrap up today, start strength training, whether that's being at home, hitting some body weight squats, some planks, some hand release push-ups. Also, I'll put a plug in for the YouTube channel. A lot of times I upload videos, I mean, they're like 10 seconds long of just a movement. And I put those in our workouts at the gym in case people are hitting open gym, or I use them to send to my online clients so they have visuals. But like you could look through that library and pick some movements and set a timer for 20 minutes and do 10 of a different movement. You know, like you can have so much fun just creating different recipes really of movements and how many movements you do, how much weight you use. And that would be like a great place to start. And then from there, because if you stick with strength training, there is going to be a from there. There's going to need to be a point where you learn from a coach, or you follow a program, or whatever it is. You go to a gym and you learn, because you're going to want to learn the movements.
Yes.
You know, and those coaches can be online too, you know, wherever. But you're going to want to learn the movements. You're going to want to be progressing in weight. I love learning from other coaches and doing different programs because it influences how I program workouts. So I think, you know, if you're starting at home now today with body weight stuff or the dumbbells that you have, the next step is going to be following a program.
Yeah.
Getting a coach. And right now at the gym,
We're having a competition. So if anyone wants to be my friend,
or my friend,
or
you can be my friend too,
so
because I have my own
for
team.
my team, you can come and try it out, which I highly recommend, because there's something to be said for having a coach, because then there's structure, there's no intimidation, and it's not, you don't have to try to figure it out yourself, because it's like the market's like saturated with this kind of information, and it's overwhelming. But to be able to come to a place where stuff is like structured and can be modified to your level, and you can progress from there, and someone's helping you, making sure you're doing it correctly without getting injured, is huge too.
Yeah, that's
Having
it.
something like it's huge. And then you have other people to cheer you on and support you, which is, every time I've seen someone new come, everybody's like so excited about it. And then when they like don't come one time, everyone's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah,
Where'd they go?
Did we
Are they
send them
coming
away?
back? And they do come back, but it's like, oh, where were you? And it's nice to have accountability too.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so yeah, doing something at home, finding a program, coming to be on one of our teams.
My friend.
Which at the gym we always offer like a free trial for people. So if you ever want to pop in,
Just like comment below though, and I'll get you the link.
okay.
To sign
Oh,
for
yeah.
for my free friend.
yeah. But really, truly, she can get the points for it for her team. But yeah, we want you. We want you in here. We want you a part of our community. So yeah, comment. Emily will hook you up with the gym if you're remote and you are like, yeah, the market is saturated and I'm very overwhelmed with what to do. Like, comment, reach out. We'll get you plugged into a program that's appropriate for you and give you somewhere to start based on the tools that you have available to you. And then next week on the episode, I'll have someone else with me. But remember Emily's face because I'm dragging her back in here again. One of these days. We have more to talk about. But we'll start talking about like the fuel and the nutrition.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like a huge part of all of this too, right? So don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, comment, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And tune back in next week.
Yep.
Okay. See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
It's a beautiful life.